The second quarter of 2026 has arrived, and in this quarter, our focus is a family affair. Thank you for joining Conversations with Chosen Pen. It is Dr. Renessa Short, and you should know in this quarter, we are focused on the family. Absolutely. In April, our theme is Children, Our Future. In the month of May, it's the women that wear the hats. And in the month of June, our focus is men at work. Thank you as always for your support and joining us each week. Thank you as well for commenting, and sharing your favorite podcast. Today's podcast is underway. We hope you enjoy the show. Hey, great Tuesday, everybody. Thank you once again for hanging out with us in this space. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you liking, commenting, and sharing. As already conveyed, we are focusing on women with the hats, that wear the hats, because we wear a lot of hats, let's be clear. And so in this quarter, we're talking about the family. So everyone that I have as a guest are going to be authors, of course, usually entrepreneurs or speakers. But then we're going to talk to them from a different perspective too, based on the quarter, based on the month of the quarter. Last month we focused on children, and specifically those who had autistic children in their family. This month we're speaking to the ladies because the women wear the hats, and we're going to talk to you from various vantage points of responsibility that women carry. And then, of course, next month is for the men. So without further ado, I want to introduce you all to my friend, Dr. LaKeshia Chisholm. We have known each other at least a decade, probably longer. And when I say she wears a lot of hats, trust and believe, she wears a lot of hats. Can you hear her phone ringing? That means that's one of her hats. Someone attached to one of her hats is trying to get in touch with her. LaKeshia, thank you so much for being in this space with me today, my friend.
Thank you so much, Anissa. Thank you for having me on today. I'm excited to be here.
How would you describe yourself? If you had to introduce yourself to someone, what would you say?
Well, definitely. I'm excited about being energetic. I'm energetic and, just full of life.
Listen, this lady is I'm gonna call her a G mom because I don't think that's the right term, but you don't know what I mean, right?
Yeah, definitely a woman of many hats. Like,
right. So mom, G mom. What now?
I can't name them all. I mean, it would probably look like something like the cat in the hat. You just keep
pulling them out. But that's most women, I think, nowadays. So let me tell you guys what I know about LaKeshia, Dr. LaKeshia, because we've been friends for a while. She's an entrepreneur. Not only does she has an awesome client base that she serves, but she leads a national team of women, of entrepreneurs. So she serves as a coach. She is a wife. She is a mother. She has a grandbaby. So that makes her a G-ma, a Gigi, a Nini, a Fifi, or whatever word people use nowadays. She has a pet. So she's a pet mom, or no, because that's Courtney's dog. You're just keeping a dog. Was it your dog? Either way, she has a pet. But then she's active in her community. She's active in her church. And as I said earlier, women wear a lot of hats, and it has to be demanding. And then she's a veteran. So when I met her, actually, I think had you already retired from the military or was about to retire?
No, I had retired.
Mm-hmm. Right. So here's the thing, though, you guys. She was an entrepreneur while still doing active duty. So she was a mom. So retiring from the military is just one of the hats she was able to, take off the roster. But nevertheless, she was able to balance and juggle it. And I don't know how she does it, honestly. So tell me this. How does it feel to wear all these hats? Do you feel real special, or do you feel overwhelmed? Or are you somewhere in between?
Well, you know what? Could be somewhere in between. I've learned that throughout the different seasons, you have to be intentional on what exactly you're focusing on. It requires a certain focus, because when you're doing a lot of things, you want to prioritize what needs to get done versus what I want to accomplish.
You got two minor children still in the home, and they're teenagers, bless your heart, and they're both in high school. And they're active as well. Your children weren't just students, they were student athletes. They were active in other activities and things of that nature. The plus for you, I know, is because you do most of the work that you do from home, you have a lot of flexibility. How do you how do you, let's see, what's the word I want to say? Because I know you coach other women that wear a lot of hats as well. How do you convey the importance of balance?
Yeah, that's a great question, Anissa. Balance looks different every day, in every season, in every household. It looks different. Sometimes my family needs me more on
Right.
this particular day. Sometimes my business needs me more. And sometimes I just need to pause and refill my cup.
That's good.
I believe that women can be nourishing, but they can also still be powerful at the same time. And I
I
think I
love it.
can build a business and still be present for my family. I don't believe that women have to choose between success and softness. Does that make
I love
sense?
that. Yeah, it does. It does. And this is what I've gathered thus far, just in what you said. First of all, work within the season
Hmm.
that you're in. And you might be in a season that I'm not in. So one of the things I would say is this, and tell me if you agree with this, is that a lot of times we as women tend to compare what someone else is doing
Hmm.
to what we're doing or what we think that we should be doing based on what someone else is doing, but we may not be in the same season. So that's important to work within the season. And you said before, sometimes your family needs you more, sometimes the business needs you more, and sometimes you need yourself more. Is that right?
Absolutely. I do. I wear many hats. But the main thing is always keeping the main thing the main thing. And that's
Mhm.
my foundation. And my foundation is rooted in faith. It's rooted in I have some type of structure. And most importantly, knowing my priorities. It doesn't matter where we are because we're all in different places and different spectrums on our journeys.
Right,
But I believe when we are keeping God first and family, and then everything else after
right,
that you prioritize, it does, it works itself out. That's building a life that creates the freedom and the impact that you want to have.
right.
As a I'm just gonna say my grandbabies call me Lala, and right now we have 2.5. Okay, we're at 2.5 right now. Okay, just found out there's another one on the way, y'all.
Oh my
So
gosh.
as a Lala, as a mom, I realized that success, it's important, but at the same time it means little if you don't have your family, if you don't have people to
Right.
share it with.
That's good. That's really good. LaKeshia, do you use a schedule or well, let me just say it this way. I know you use a schedule, and sometimes the schedule can be followed to the T, and then sometimes the schedule has to be thrown out the window and start all over again. But how has using a schedule help you with balancing it all?
Okay, I think that scheduling is very important. So, you know what? I start out with the important things on the schedule, the big things on the schedule. But there are, it does leave room for, hey, I need this right now. Because when you have kids, I mean, like literally, like Chrisette was blowing my phone up today from school because she needed something,
Mm-hmm.
and so, it leaves room. But having that schedule, it helps to keep you, grounded, one, and it helps you to be able to prioritize knowing what has to happen today and what I want to happen today or what other people want me to do today.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get
Mm-hmm.
in line. We got to make sure that we are making the donuts and we're doing the things that matter at that particular moment. So, yeah, I mean,
You know,
having systems in place, that is very helpful when it comes to you know balancing out. Because if you got to do something versus I want to do something,
right.
about how your got tos can get done, and you can still have some fun and some pleasure with the want to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of the things I know for sure that when you, to your point about systems, we talked about the scheduling. Scheduling is a system, and I love what you said about adopting a schedule is important. And then to start with the big things first, and then at least make room for the surprises, is what I call them, the unexpected. But one of the other things I know for a fact is, LaKeshia, you are really good at asking for help when you need it. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and so that's really, really good. A lot of women are overwhelmed because we try to do everything ourselves. Like literally, like we either think we're the best at everything or we are the best at everything. But you guys, delegation, boundaries, and just protecting your peace, they are true game changers.
Yeah.
I believe in intentional time, like literally, that time, that's the one resource that, y'all, we can never recapture. We can
That's true.
never get it back. So, in balancing, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, but it truly is like how we use them. And I do think, delegating, do I have to do everything?
Right.
Okay. I know I'm good at it or great at it, but you know what? I'm going to pass this on to someone that could be good at it. I'm going to give them
That's
some
true.
chance and they could be good at
Right.
doing this particular task.
Right. Right.
Setting boundaries, that's a big one. When I have things that I need to accomplish, boundaries have to come into play because sometimes, like family and close friends, they want to project their things onto us. And because we have a sense to nurture and to feel significant in our lives, we kind of take on. And so I have a boundary, there are times when I must give a hard no.
And listen, no is a complete sentence, is it not?
Period.
I,
Hard.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
you've already given us 5 good tips. I'm gonna recap them really quick. Okay, so one, work within the season that you're in. That's one of the things you've already stated with regards to women who wear all the hats. Work within the season that you're in. Number two, learn to prioritize. Some things are urgent today. Some things are another thing may be urgent tomorrow. Adopt a schedule. Schedule the big things first, while also leaving a little grace for the surprises, because when you have children, there are surprises. Tip number 4 is don't do it alone. Ask for help. And then number 5, set boundaries. They're a safeguard. I love these tips, LaKeshia. Do you have another one? I know you may just have another piece of wisdom.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. As women in general, we have to give ourselves grace because we can carry a lot. We can carry guilt, shame. We can carry these emotions and these things that then turn into issues, right? If
Right.
not give ourselves great.
I love
You
that.
know, we cannot pour from an empty cup. We just can't.
Oh, that's number 7. Hold on a minute. Tip number 7. Refuel yourself. Refuel yourself.
You gotta refill. You got to refill. And I'm just here to tell you what worked for you 5 years ago. You guys, that may not work in this season. And I want you to know that it's okay.
That's good.
Now,
That's really good. That's really good.
it is okay.
Right. One of the things that I learned in the community for which we got connected, LaKeshia is a top leader in an awesome direct sales company. And that's what connected us many years ago. And one of the things I learned to adopt is the importance of balance and to prioritize, as you've already stated, according to what those values are. And one of the things that I remember one of the leaders stating, and I thought this was phenomenal, because I didn't see this in corporate America, but for them to emphasize it, I knew there had to be a reason. And they made reference to scheduling time for date night if you were married, and for family time if you had family. Because while we're working traditional jobs and building a business, that can pull us in so many directions, but as you said earlier, your family is important. So you must set aside time intentionally to be present with those that you live with and those that are important to you. How do you manage that, LaKeshia?
You know, faith, y'all. It has been such a major part of my balance. Prayer keeps me grounded when life gets very, very busy and things get hectic. Another thing that I try to do when, and this you're talking about family, when I'm with my family, I try my best to be present in that moment, because you just don't know if you'll be
Yeah,
able to recapture those moments.
right,
And like when I am working with intention, with purpose, with passion when I'm working. And so
right.
that right there, it helps me, being present. It it makes a difference,
It
because
really does.
having those memories. If I just work, that's great. It provides income, but being there for my family, that really is that inside fuel that I need, to
Yeah.
keep going.
I love it. I love it. You guys, I can say this from a personal standpoint. I know we're having conversation here, and you that may be watching this live or watching the replay may be thinking, oh, this sounds so great. This is phenomenal. But I can tell you firsthand, because I know Dr. LaKeshia Chisholm, I know her husband, Dr. Christopher Chisholm, I know the kids, and I know how she juggles. Listen, baby, I don't know how she juggles, but the military also obviously equipped her to do a lot. But I know for a fact when it comes to prioritizing, I've seen you adopt a schedule. I've seen how you've operated from that perspective. I know Miss Annie is your left and right hand on any given day, which is the person that helps you with things around the house. And then the boundaries that you set, the way that you are engaged. You do the family trip in the summer, but then you also have the trip that you and your husband do, because it's important for you to build and to nourish the marriage relationship while also supporting and building the family relationship. I've seen them do this. So
Mhm.
she's not just speaking in theory. I've seen it, right? And then giving herself grace, refueling herself. I think community has a lot to do with that as well. LaKeshia, how important is your tribe, your community of like-minded women that you might engage with? It may not be a tribe in the sense that it's a whole herd of women. It may just be two or three. Speak to that. That's important, I believe.
Okay. I Can I go back just a minute?
You can.
Okay, because as you were talking, it just reminded me, because spring break, I have two, and this is that I have two children still in the home, and so I have two high schoolers right now. And so Christopher and Chrisette, they're both in high school. And so to be able to unplug with them, take them on a
Yeah.
cruise for spring break, and it's just unplugging with them. When you're on that water, it's all choppy anyway.
Yeah.
So, not so much as working, but just being there, creating memories with them. Anissa, oh my gosh, it was so fun. And then it was like, oh my goodness, I only have two more spring breaks with them. Like,
I remember us having that conversation. You was like, I only have two more spring breaks with them.
right, like, oh my goodness. So that was priceless. And then next week, Chris and I will go on a vacation. And
Right.
so, yeah, you just reminded me of that. And I just began to think of it like, okay, I was thinking about that so much, like, okay, now what was the question that you asked
Yeah,
me?
no, the question was regarding no, I'm glad you brought that up, because we had the last time you and I actually conversed, rather than prior to even booking this, was the fact that you were getting ready for spring break and that you were taking them on a cruise. You were going to see your mom first and
Yes,
foremost. How's mom? Mom
yeah.
doing good?
Everybody's doing good. My sisters, we all came in, we surprised her. I mean, it was just such a phenomenal time to unplug and to spend that time with my family. My mom had no
Right.
idea we were flying over to Texas to see
Uh-huh.
her. And we were actually cruising out of Texas. So it just worked out
Yeah.
perfectly. And
Yeah.
seeing sisters, and my oldest daughter lives in Texas. And so it was a lot. We got to accomplish a lot. We got to really create some great memories. Looking back at those pictures, like the laughs, the
Yeah.
smiles in the photos, it was everything. Like literally, it was
And
everything.
that's what being intentional creates, really. Many times I've had conversations when they say, oh, I'm just so busy, I just don't know when I'll be able to take a vacation, blah blah blah. And I'm like, listen to what you said. The phrase is take a vacation.
Right.
That means if you don't set aside time for it, no one's going to give it to you. You must be on purpose and intentional, as you said, for your faith, for your family, for the things that matter. And it's not that you have to do this every month or even every quarter, but you must make time for it. Let's close out with your tribe. Now, I know girlfriend time is important, and I don't necessarily mean, traveling with your girlfriends. Although that's good. I know you do some of that, but you want to have community, because a lot of times I believe that when we're talking about wearing the many hats, if we're not careful, we're going to do two things. We're going to either compare ourselves with someone else that we shouldn't be comparing ourselves with, or we're going to isolate ourselves. Two extremes where we feel like we're just overwhelmed and no one understands what we're going through, or we're comparing ourselves and saying, I wish I could be more like her, or she makes it look so easy. How important is it to have a realistic tribe of women that you can just download to, feed and be fed by? Tell us a little bit about that in the balancing it all.
Well, I will tell you, I believe that that is important, so vital to, success. It's so vital to not just, living a life or doing life, but creating a
Yeah.
phenomenal lifestyle to live in. I mean, to live, having girlfriends that stretch you, having girlfriends that, empower you, that sharpen you is powerful. We've always been told that it's important for you to monitor who's in your circle. Because
Right.
if you have, broke girlfriends, negative girlfriends, and they're in your circle, guess what? You're gonna be the next broke. You're gonna be the next
Yeah.
negative. You're gonna be the
Yeah.
next now. So you want to make sure that you're connecting with people that are going in the same direction that you are, or higher,
Right.
because they have something to pour into you. And when people are busy and everybody's moving, you really don't have that time or that energy to compare, because
Right.
when you have strong girlfriends, they're going to let you know, girl, that is your strength.
Right.
And when everybody's operating in their strengths,
Right.
it makes it easy. Everybody around you is winning. So community is so important, because other people know things that you don't know, that you need to know to get
Right.
to where you're going. And so
That's
if
good.
you don't take the time to connect, it's like you can't connect the dots, because you don't have the information, you don't have the strategy, you don't have the insight to get you to that next dot. So it's like you're
Right.
just stuck, and the puzzle is, it's not coming
Yeah.
together.
It's incomplete.
And
It's totally incomplete. Yeah.
yeah, you need it to come together. So coming together as a community in this, that is vital. Now, finding that community, that tribe, okay, that's the interesting part. Okay.
That would be a conversation for another time on the
Yes.
strategy of doing that. But it is important. But I appreciate what you share, because you're absolutely right. We need
Mhm,
people in our space that are running the same race that we're running, or are
mhm.
ahead of us, because those that are running with us, we cheer each other on. We cheer each
Right.
other on. Those that are ahead of us will tell us where to take the detours, what turns not to
Mhm.
make, so that we don't make mistakes and we can stay on track. So community is everything. So I'm going
Yes.
to recap these 9 nuggets. This probably was 10, but I got caught up in the conversation. But the first one is, again, work within the season that you're in. Number 2, learn how to prioritize. Number
Mhm.
3, adopt a schedule and schedule the big things first while making room for the surprises. Number 4, don't do it alone. Ask for help. Number 5, set boundaries. They are a safeguard. And she said no was a complete sentence. I know y'all don't wrote that down. Number 6, give yourself grace. Number 7, be sure to refill yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. Number 8, time for faith and family should be intentional. And then number 9, community is important. Now, this is coming from a soldier, you guys, a retired veteran, a G-ma or Lala, a
Mhm.
wife, a mom, a dog mom, a business owner. She's a business coach. And then guess what? Not that she needed to do anything else, but she did. She decided, I want to publish a book. Boom, and there it is. LaKeshia became a published author just 2 months ago. Living in the Overflow is a devotional. It is a beautiful book that's now available on Amazon. LaKeshia, share with us why you decided to publish this book.
You know, there were so many reasons why now was the time. I believe that a book was inside of me for a very long time.
I
And
agree. Mm-hmm.
yourself would be like, when are you going to write your book? When are you going to write your book? There's so many reasons why now. But you know, I can share with you guys that I'm passionate about helping people, dream bigger, believe deeper, and build stronger, which is exactly why, I wrote the devotional, Living in the Overflow. I do want people to be successful, you guys. And the devotional itself, it's more than just a devotional. It's really about changing your mindset, building up your faith, believing. We believe, but believe that it's going to happen for you.
Right.
It's about purpose, it's about discipline, it's about building the life and the business that God has called us to, you know? And so, you know,
Perfect
that
timing.
sums it up.
Perfect
Mhm.
timing. Perfect timing. I totally agree with it. That's one of the things I love about this book, because although you are an entrepreneur and you have been for years, it's not totally entrepreneurial focused. The principles that you share in this book do apply, let's be clear, to
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, but it also applies to just life in general. And
Yeah.
really success principles are universal. They apply whether you're an entrepreneur or not, whether you're, career professional. The principles are applicable to all facets of life. And I love the book. It's very principle oriented. You also ask questions or allow prompts for people to think, action items, things for them to do their own self-assessment. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share this, is that not only is this book available in a paperback version, but it's also available on Kindle. It's on Amazon now. And she even has a gorgeous workbook, composition book, an 8 by 10, that is also entitled Living in the Overflow, that you can use for when you are reading through the book, and or just out and about doing what you do and you need a gorgeous notebook, a composition book to remind you that abundance is a promise and abundance is possible. Look, let me show everybody, if you want to connect with Dr. Chisholm, is it okay for them to reach out to you through social media? Would that be good?
And it's absolutely, I got some great things going on. Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. She is on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. You can look for her gorgeous face. That'll make it easy. But, just in case you want to see what it looks like, I've got it here on the screen. LaKeshia Chisholm, that's her personal Facebook page. Inbox her if you want her for speaking engagements. If you if you need coaching services, I'm assuming that she can probably provide you with a few let's say wisdom, a little wisdom. You want to get her book, if you want to buy the book in bulk versus just getting one book, because sometimes you have people who have communities that they want to feed and you want to get multiple books. Well, you may not want to go on Amazon and order 50 copies, but now if you do, just let the Lord use you. But if not, if you want to talk with her about special pricing or even partnering with you to collaborate, I believe she's open to that. Is that safe to say, ma'am?
It absolutely is. And I had no idea that you were going to pull up my Facebook page because you guys, oh my gosh, I just launched, my new project, Take Command with LaKeshia. Like,
Ah,
how awesome is that? And
is that a website? Is that a website?
well, actually, it is going to be a website, but right now we have our Facebook page is Take
Okay.
Command with
Okay.
LaKeshia, where it's going to be amazing, you guys. In this community, I mean, we're going to be pouring into people, how to take command of your day, like starting your day out, take command of your weight, your
Oh, I
health,
love this.
take
Yes.
command. It's going to be business
Yes.
development,
Listen,
leadership,
we're
faith,
gonna share
and
this to the stage,
personal
honey.
growth.
There it is. I love this. Look, how did I not? If this just obviously
It
just
just
launched, like,
launched. You guys, it just launched. We did our first post today. Okay, our very first
okay,
post
because
went up
I'm about to,
today.
what I was about to say. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, this is
I have 4
gorgeous.
followers today on here. But it just our first post went out today, and so they're going to have lots of fun.
I love this.
Lots of fun and lots informational. It's going to be amazing, you guys.
Okay, so ignore what I shared as far as Facebook a minute ago. Just totally delete that. This is where you need to go. Take command with LaKeshia. LaKeshia, I absolutely love this. I've got to catch up. I really got to catch up. Well, no, let me say this. I knew you had something in the works because you alluded to that, but because you made me wait, now, of course, it's out there. So I'm excited for you. I am so excited for you. I really am. All right, ladies, I think that's it. We could talk. Truth be told, she and I could talk for another 30, 40 minutes, but we don't have that much time. But thank you, my friend, for being on the show. Thank you for trusting me and Chosen Pen Group with the publishing of your book. Your friendship has been valuable over the years. I see great or even greater things happening for you with this Take Command with LaKeshia. I love that platform. Absolutely love it. Any closing remarks you want to extend to anyone that might be watching?
Well, I would want to close with, let's think about it. You know what? Really, you don't have to choose. Like, people do not have to choose. I don't have to choose between being an amazing woman, being an amazing wife, mother, or businesswoman. I'm excited that I have an opportunity to build a beautiful life, and so do you, while still being fully present for the people that we love. So
I love that.
give yourself grace while you grow. It's not a this or that. It's a this and that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. LaKeshia Chisholm, my guest for today. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for another episode of Conversations with Chosen Pen. As you know, we're here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on social media. But as of June 1st, we will be syndicated. So you'll be able to get episodes not only live on Tuesday, but you'll be able to hear me on Mondays, as well as Saturdays and Sundays. So be on the lookout for those announcements as soon as time allows. Thank you once again for hanging out with me in this space, and I hope to see you next week. And don't forget to share, like, comment. We're growing this community one face at a time. Make it a great day, everybody.